So why did you only spend $73 in Mexico?
Well, I think it had something to do with the guy I went with because
guy.
You went with a dude?
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations, Al.
But Al, what about
Dr. Girlfriend?
What did we say about Thanksgiving? Remember last week when we talked about Thanksgiving is the biggest day for people to come out of the...
There was no coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No
Right.
coming out. No, I just happened to mention at the bar. I was like, man, this guy asked me, said, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? I said,
Oh,
hey, I'm
my
going
God.
to Mexico.
You
You
took
wanna
a stranger.
again?
A random dude?
Al.
What? I mean, I know him, but I've
What
never
if he's
traveled with him or anything.
I
But
mean, Al-
I know him. She's kind of a friend /
Do you ever
customer.
consider that you're very fortunate you haven't been maimed or lost in
this dude's
Oregon and
dude.
woken up in a bathtub?
He said, this dude comes to the bar.
You need to read The Power of Who again.
This guy comes
That's
to the
where
bar.
you actually have friends.
Why don't
you
y'all-
don't just wait for somebody to show up and go, hey, you want to go to Mexico?
Okay.
What's wrong with that? Now live life, dude.
that not weird? It's a little
live
weird, isn't it?
life. What is wrong with that? I'm going.
Nothing
He's got
wrong.
nothing to
What'd
do.
your girlfriend do?
He
If you had one friend to call, you'd have called him.
well, I mean, I was only going for a weekend. It wasn't like I was trying to make this big production of a trip. He just said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm going to Mexico." He goes, "I'll go." He called his wife.
Wait,
got
who says?
clearance.
Hold on.
Called
hold
his
on.
wife. He has a
Married?
wife?
Yeah. What's wrong with that? He called and got
Thanksgiving
permission
weekend.
from the woman, and
Wait
she
a minute,
said,
hold on.
"Yeah."
Hold on. JC, where are you going for Christmas?
I'm going to Mexico, kid.
I'll go. Who says that?
I asked.
You invited him, or he
I
wouldn't have
asked.
said, "I'll go."
I asked. I said, "Why don't you get a ticket?" You know how you just say that. Why don't you get
Yeah.
a ticket and go with me? He
You
said,
didn't mean
"Okay."
it.
What do you got planned today?
Oh, I'm just going to go to the Hobby Lobby.
I'll go.
Oh, okay.
He went. What's wrong with that? He hadn't been to Mexico in 15 years.
But he's married.
Without his wife.
And he went. He called.
Left
he got
his wife for Thanksgiving.
We went on Friday.
Okay.
And so this was Wednesday when I said, why don't you go? Just kind of casually. And he said, sure. I'm not doing anything. So he went.
Right.
And that's
it's
why I didn't have to
Thanksgiving.
pay for a whole lot because I
So he
already
paid.
had.
Not only did he go, he paid for everything.
He paid for. Well, I already had the room paid for and the ground transportation. He just paid for my drinks and paid for my food and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
So he paid for everything.
He pretty much did.
Yeah.
I mean, once we were there,
So you were his date.
So
Yeah.
his date.
how did that? You wonder how that call went in the bar to the wife. It's like, hang on, Al. Let me. It's a great idea. Yeah.
What an awesome wife to let him go.
Isn't she?
Honey?
Hey.
Hey, honey. What's up?
Oh, nothing. I'm just trying to get these last-minute Thanksgiving preparations.
Well, it's Friday, so,
No, this was on Wednesday. We had the conversation.
Oh, this is
before.
Wednesday.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So we're having Thanksgiving tomorrow then?
Yeah, we
All
are.
right. And what's planned for Friday?
Well, Friday.
What I
I'm
mean
just-
is, what do you have planned for
Well,
Friday?
I'm going to go do my Black Friday shopping.
Oh, good, because I'm going to be out of town for the weekend.
Oh, is that code?
So you and the kids can hang out at home. I'm going to be going to Mexico with Big Alicious.
Oh,
What?
okay.
Yeah. What do
So
you mean? You're cool with that?
Well, obviously, it's time for you to make that admission I've been expecting all these years.
Wow.
I was listening to the Kid Craddock show, and they said Thanksgiving is the time that people come out of the closet, and I was just bracing
Oh,
myself
no, it's
that
nothing
this
like
was
that.
the time.
No, he's just a cool guy. He owns this bar. He's a black dude. He's super hot.
No,
and he
I
owns this
understand
bar.
Yeah, I understand.
He owns this bar, and he's really nice to people, and he's got an
He's a very
amazing,
attractive
amazing
man,
butt. And
I've let myself
yeah,
know. I
he's,
understand why you've turned to men.
yeah,
it's fine.
So he's looking at me right now with his deep brown penetrating eyes. But anyway, he's a really cool guy.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna go hang out. We're just gonna go hang out in
All right,
Mexico
well, have fun.
and
Just-
sleep in the same bed for 3 days.
Just remember to keep up the ruse when you get back. I'd be
Yeah.
too ashamed for you to leave me for Big Al.
Well, it's not like that at all. It's just two dudes
Oh.
going on a trip. Did I mention he had
Exactly.
penetrating brown eyes?
Yes, you did.
All right,
Yes,
good
you
deal.
did.
What about his
Awesome.
lips?
All right. Well, listen, I'll see you Monday unless we decide to stay.
Yeah. Just don't come home with a matching tattoo.
Wow.
Has no one else ever done something like that? Like,
Not on a
No.
I'm going to the
holiday.
game. You want to
No.
go? I'm going
Al,
here. You want to go?
No one looks at this as, wow, Al lives life. People look at this like Al's so desperate
No.
that he
No.
can't find a friend to go
I
anywhere.
got- I got
so he just
friends.
asks a guy that happens to order a beer from him.
I mean, no, it's happened. I've had a guy that is randomly sitting at the bar and be like, hey, I got a ticket to the basketball game. I don't really know him, but I'll go to a basketball game
Yeah.
with him. It's not a
Well,
trip
that's staying
to,
in
that's
town.
A couple
and I've
Yeah.
invited guys to play golf that I didn't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
the three of us are going, and this dude happens to be there, and you're like, you want to join us? But that's
Traveling
not
to Mexico is different.
That's a
now.
commitment,
What's
dude.
what? Just because you use your passport? There's no. I mean, that's. I go a little
Traveling
bit.
with people is a
Ow.
special thing.
You're-
Traveling with people.
You're living with him for 3 days.
It's a 2-bedroom.
Living with him.
It's a 2-bedroom.
You don't know if he's a murderer.
It's
Did you run his background?
It's a no. It's
Al,
a
what-
2-bedroom apartment.
What would you have done if this guy's completely crazy and you get home to the hotel and he's sitting there on piles of cocaine and he's got prostitutes all over the place?
Well,
Al was supposed to be the prostitute.
no. I mean, it wasn't like that. I wouldn't if I didn't feel comfortable with the dude.
So
I
you know
wouldn't-
everything about him.
No, I don't know everything.
What's his
about
last
it.
name?
We hang out.
So what if you're on your way to the airport, okay, to come home,
Yeah.
and you turn on CNN, and they go,
It's like Jordan Vandersloot.
in Dallas, the indictment of a known child molester is taking a turn as the
Why you have to
molester
go
has
there?
apparently defected to Mexico.
Why do you have to go there?
He left for Mexico and is in the company of another man named Big Al Mack, who apparently helped to extradite him to Mexico to escape prosecution.
No extraditing.
How do you know?
No, but if you do end up dead, we're all going to be like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
had it coming.
Who didn't expect that?
Right.
Yeah.
It was
Not
a
like
fun,
we didn't warn him.
It was a fun trip.
Good dude.
We had a good. Yeah,
Yeah.
good guy.
Good time.
Good
You guys,
guy.
you guys pick up a bunch of women, son?
No, wasn't no women
But
picking
what
up.
wife lets her husband run off to Mexico with you and your reputation?
You know what? What do you mean? Me and my reputation.
You know what your reputation
That's the second
is.
time in 2
It's
days I've
not
heard
a,
this
it's
reputation
not a true
word.
representation
you
of
mean
your.
the new reputation, Kelly, is no problem at all.
Exactly.
Nothing's going to happen. It's the
In,
old-
in reality, you're harmless, but your reputation is you're a dog and a womanizer. So what woman is going to let her husband run off to Mexico with you? Obviously, their marriage is over.
A trusting
No,
wife
marriage
that
is over.
knows that there's no harm, no
Those
foul.
two haven't been in love for years.
You ever
Yeah.
met his wife?
No harm, no.
You ever met his wife?
Yeah.
And this is like a big family weekend because it's the Thanksgiving
Dude, but
holiday.
people do stuff.
But
It was just a simple little trip. It was
A simple
48
little trip.
hours.
Sing it for us, Al.
And you didn't pay for anything.
Sing it.
Little kid.
It's 48 hours.
But Dad, it's my last football game of the season. Oh, sorry, son. I'm going to Mexico with Big Al.
Son was taken care
But Daddy,
of.
Grandma, and Grandpa flew in from Europe.
I hate Grandma and Grandpa.
Yeah. And
This was fine.
we had so much planned.
There was no plan. There was no. He pays for a trip for his wife to go. with the
Sorry,
girls
son,
every
I'm
once in a
going
while.
to Mexico with a black guy with a penetrating brown eyes.
Al, did you
Someday you'll understand.
did you get couples massages?
You did, didn't you?
You did, didn't you?
Well, maybe one. No.